Yay! I didn't know there was a sandy beach here. You're like, obviously, I asked you.
Yeah,
It's the best earthing. It is so cold. Yeah. I'm just glad most people here aren't wearing a mask. This is the one place in the world you can go. People are still not wearing masks. Hello, Jonathan Lawson. Hi everybody, we're on the Washington coast in Queets, maybe. We're on a sandy beach and it's beautiful. And let's see. There you go, there's the ocean, the Pacific Ocean behind us. Who knows what's hidden out there? It's pretty exciting. I just spent a week with my family. It was awesome. I haven't seen some of them in a year. I got to hang out with my little tiny baby nephews and nieces, and it really filled my heart and my soul up. And I'm a little sad today because I had to leave them, but I'm also incredibly happy because I'm here. Pretty freaking rad. And the best part about this is that we just hung out for, like I said, almost a week with my family with no masks. Nobody wore any masks. All the kids got to have like actual facial expressions and interactions with human beings, which was rad. And I made it all the way here. Johnny and I went in many stores and many gas stations along the way, and I never wore a mask in any single one of them, and only one asked me to leave. So that was also really cool. Like, part of my faith in like humanity and my ability to exist in the world is restored somewhat because of that. I'm very, very glad of that, and it's been nice. There's been a bunch of people on the way who also haven't been wearing masks, and that has made me happy. And then, you know, there's been the people who have, and they're like outside, like here at the beach, or walking around in the forest. We've been up in the sort of foothills of the Olympic National Forest, and people are wearing masks out there, and it's like pretty depressing, but you know the drill because you've been living it too. But like I said, it's been nice to have people not wearing masks, not get kicked out of stores and different places, to have my family not wearing masks. The kids in the family got to see, like I said, human faces. It's been nice. And here at this beach right now, I haven't seen anybody wearing a mask on the beach yet. And that makes me happy too. So it is bittersweet, sad to leave my family, happy to be doing another road trip, a little mini one at least, in the age of COVID, and documenting some of the weirdness that we find along the way. So Pacific Ocean time, woo! We're like, wait, you're like joking, right? Like,
how'd you get her down?
We had to get her to scoot on her butt down to every single.
I think you told me that. That high up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, how did you like not know that you were gonna have to come back down all these hills? Or...
Right.
And she was just like, I just, She was like so nice. It was so weird. She also like had her hands like this. She just never stopped shaking. She was like younger than me or whatever. We are in the Olympic National Forest on Lake Crescent at Fairholmes Campground, I believe. And it was very synchronistic and fortuitous that we drove up and we were looking for a spot, and I said I always have wanted to camp here. I lived out here on this peninsula, but I've never camped here, and I always see it when I drive by, and Lake Crescent is amazing. It's a beautiful, gorgeous, just clear cerulean blue lake. And so we drove in to see, and it didn't look like there was very many spots. Who knows if there were more than we noticed, but we drove up to look at the board to see, you know, if there's what's available. And a guy walks up and he's like, "Hey, you guys looking for a spot?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, I'm leaving the best spot in the whole site, in the whole grounds right now, and I've already paid for tonight. You can have it." We're like, "What?" So this is clearly a sign we want to stay here. And we drive down, and it is a very beautiful site. As you can see behind me is the lake. And we're here in our hammocks hanging out, and it was funny because the lady came to check, you know, and we weren't the same car that had paid, and so she wanted to like make a deal out of that, and like, "Oh, you have to pay, even though it's been paid for, you have to pay again because you're not the same license plate." And I was like, that doesn't make logical sense. why we should do that, but I guess here's 20 bucks, and I try to hand it to her, and she's like, oh no, I can't take that. COVID. You have to go up to the box and like, you know, pay up there, but you can't pay in cash because COVID. Like, why? That doesn't even make sense either. Like, someone's going to come collect the money, but the cash that's been sitting in the envelope for however long is going to somehow still have COVID living on it, and you touching it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I was like, okay, so what are we supposed to do? And she's like, go up to the board and bring your credit card and write down all your credit card information on it. I'm like, oh, so we're all going to put all our credit card information in this very, like, unstable, you know, easily stealable, whatever. Like, no, I don't know. It's just, the look on my face must have been like, you've got to be kidding me. She's like, you know what? We'll just change the license plate on here, and it just, you've already paid, so it doesn't matter anyway, and I hope you have fun. And I was like, oh my god, this is cool. Like, again, fortuitous and pretty cool that she just changed her mind for some reason, which is nice, you know? We wouldn't have minded paying, but someone already paid. It just, you know, we should be able to get it too. Anyway, we're here in the Olympic National Rainforest, and it is raining slightly, but you can't really tell. It's pretty warm. And behind me is that lake that you can't see because it's so bright. But it's pretty gorgeous. Yeah. This is Port Townsend. A sleepy little artsy village on the Puget Sound. Oh look, the fucking deer have masks. How retarded. The best Japanese food in the world is down there. Boat in Port Townsend, headed to Keystone, which is Coopville on Whidbey Island, which is where I grew up. And we still have been able to make it this far with not wearing a mask. And so far so good. Behind me is the historic Port Townsend. You just saw a little bit of it that I was walking through. It's a pretty cool town. And Whidbey Island is also awesome. And so I'm excited to go there. We're going to drive over the mountains, the Cascade Mountains. We just came from the Olympic Mountains on the peninsula. Now we're going to the Cascade Mountains on the mainland of Washington, and then we'll be back, headed towards home again, back to our chickens. They're missing us. We're not missing them at all, we swear. Just, we are. We're weird. Johnny's first ferry ride ever.
Ever.
We're
That's
just
what we say.
we're saying that because the camera won't go the right way.
First ferry ride for me. I sing really well.
Because they tried to tell us that we couldn't be upstairs without a mask on or at all if we drove on. So we're saying it's Johnny's first ferry ride ever so that we don't have to go back to our car and sit in the dark, dank dungeon. Instead of be out here where it's beautiful. See? Who wouldn't want to lie for that? We're in the North Cascades National Park. Woo! The Skagit River is to my south. Here comes Bigfoot or something. Something's tromping through the forest. That'd be rad if I was filming this and Bigfoot just like came out. Roar! We'll see. I don't know where we're at. We're at Colonial Campground on
Highway 20.
Okay, we're at Colonial Campground at Thunder Knob Trailhead on Highway 20, and I don't think this is Lake Diablo or even Diablo River, and I'm not even sure what river it is, which is insane, but it's right here behind me. You can't see it because it's all washed out, but it's like bright turquoise blue, and it's gorgeous and beautiful, and I love it. And we got the last camp spot that is even in this campground. It's first come, first served. We rolled up at 3 o'clock, and there was one spot left. And so we grabbed it, and now we're here. And it's really, really nice and gorgeous and beautiful, as you can see. Hello. So now we have just made dinner. We are gonna hammock it up for the night and call it good. And it's awesome. I still didn't figure out what river we're on or whatever, but it's cool because this place that we found, we literally got the last spot. I think I already said that before, but when we came back to the site to pay and, you know, figure it all out, the camp host came over and, you know, she's like, oh, do you want this spot? And I was like, yes, please. And she was like, okay. And I was like, well, couldn't figure out how to pay. Do we just pay you? She's like, oh no, it's free for the year because of COVID. And I'm like, okay. I don't know why that makes it free. I don't care, but it's awesome because our first night camping, we found camping for $20 and it was a gorgeous campsite, which I don't think I got any video at that point, but, and then our second night, that guy gave us his spot for free. And then tonight, this is free, and it's all just on the fly. We just kind of drive until we decide we want to camp somewhere, and here we are in North Cascades National Park. So we got the Olympic National Park, we got the North Cascades National Park, 2 national parks in 1 week, and that's pretty cool. And we're going to head on over to eastern Washington, up through northern Idaho, and towards Flathead Lake. So the next time you see an episode of Rogueways Road Trips, you will see those things, and that should be in a couple days here. Oh, I might be lying. I don't know how much is going to fit into a couple days, but whatever. You'll see whatever you see. And yeah, I hope that everybody out there has been getting out into the wilderness, and it's been really, really cool. Like I've said on all of these little updates, there's been actually very few people wearing masks outdoors, which has been heartening. I wish it was 0, but not that many. And even when we do see people doing it, I feel like you can tell that they're kind of like feeling, rather than how it felt before, where it felt like everybody who wasn't wearing masks was sort of looked at as like the pariah and like the awful person, that the people who are wearing masks now, especially in outdoor areas, are kind of looked at, or they feel, I think, more like on that side of things, like they're the ones who are the weirdos. So I'm hoping that that's the way things are going. That would be cool, because like my very intelligent friend Sasha said, you just start asking people like, how long are you going to wear that? Like, what is the criteria for you taking this off? I don't think anyone has an answer for that. So hopefully the tides are shifting. We're moving towards people being less and less reliant on masks and less caring. Like I said, I've been able to go into 100% of places that I've wanted to go in. And that was a worry when we started this road trip. I was like, I might be peeing on people's sidewalks, because if they don't let me in and I'm not wearing a mask and I can't use the bathroom, like I'm going to pee wherever I can. And that might be right in front of their store. And luckily, I've not had to be that asshole, because they haven't been that asshole. And only one person kicked me out, and it was not an urgent situation. It was just, we were just sort of sightseeing and, you know, didn't really need to go to that store. So we're like, okay, word, bye. So yeah, it's been not so bad. It's actually been pretty cool to get out in the world and realize that most people are still normal, mostly. And that the world out here, at least in the forest and in the wilderness areas that we've been hanging out, is pretty normal. It's pretty cool. And besides that, it's always nice to sleep not in a house that's surrounded and wired by electricity, and be out, you know, even in the van. When we're sleeping in the van, it's none really. There's almost no electronics or electric activity in there, and so you're not kind of caged in by that. So you're out, you know, in this sort of free roaming energy that is otherwise surrounding the planet, and you're not blocking it out with your little electric box. And so that's been really nice to sleep in that setting and to be out in nature every day and to see all the beauty that's untouched and unmarred by mankind, and just gorgeous. The North Cascades National Park is amazing. Huge towering mountains and lots of really crystal, that aquamarine colored rivers and lakes, and just gorgeous. It's amazing. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. The Olympic National Olympic National Park, also amazing. Just beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous country, and highly, highly recommend both. These are sort of my stomping grounds. This is where I grew up, so it's been nice to come back and to camp and explore here. But until you get out and see that wilderness, travel well, aim for balance, and always look inside first. Mwah.